This is Asham Solo of the Enchanted Life. Here speaking with Ifakunle Olafemi
Ifakunle.
about his journey with aplastic anemia
Mm.
and bringing himself back to health.
Yes, yes, yes. Here to speak about all of that.
How you doing?
Doing good. Feeling great. Feeling strong, inspired, like feeling the love. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So, all of that.
And you should introduce yourself to the people.
When I was born, Antwan Ford, son of Extella McNair, and Anthony Ford. But my journey led me to the name of being given Ifakunle Olafemi.
Okay.
Yes.
Um, and right now you're on a journey of healing from aplastic anemia.
Mm.
Can you tell us what aplastic anemia is?
Yeah. They don't got no reason for it. Like it's no cause that they are aware of. It's a mystery to the medical system, but like what we do know, it's a condition or a disease where the bone marrow just stops working. You know, your bone marrow produce your red blood cells, so that will put me in a situation to having like low levels of blood in my body, like versus what's actually needed. So it's a disease or an imbalance within the bone marrow. That's what it is.
And what are some of the symptoms?
Okay. Like these symptoms be like shortness of breath, shortness of breath, like rapid heart rate. You might have some headaches. Might be experiencing some fatigue, or in some cases it might be like bleeding, like when you brush your teeth, or maybe your nose might just start bleeding out the blue. Things like that. Like pretty much, those are the major ones that I have experienced dealing with it.
And how long ago did this begin? The first
Well,
episode.
originally it was 2007, like when I started experiencing some of these same symptoms that I'm talking about, like out of the blue, just started dealing with these issues, not knowing what was the cause of them. You know what I'm saying? So that was in 2007 originally.
And what, in your opinion, what do you think triggered it? I know you said the medical industry can't really tell you what the cause was, but what do you think triggered it?
I mean, by being an issue with blood and bone marrow, like spiritually, like thinking about it, like over these years, and what I understand now from that realm, because we know everything comes from that realm. Like it was a foundational, something foundational in my life. Like your bone marrow is the foundation, like of your body. Like your blood, that's life. You know what I'm saying? And blood is life. So I knew it was something very deep within not just my body, but like in my soul and my spirit that needed balancing and needed healing. Like you know what I mean? And so that's how I look at this. Like something that began spiritually that has manifested itself physically from a very profound place in who I am. You know what I mean? That needs healing or correction. You know what I mean?
And
Because like far as the medical system, like they don't got no reason for it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no, well, when you do this and you do that, that brings aplastic anemia. Like most other diseases, like it be a path that leads on. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this aplastic anemia is like a mystery to them. So it's just something that they say they don't understand how it comes about.
And so the first time it came, can you tell us about your journey with it the first time?
Okay, yeah. Now the first time, remember, like this is back in 2007, and so like I'm new on my journey, like of knowledge of self and like just like how my life is now. Like it was like pretty much the beginning stages of that. And so like when I first was diagnosed with it, it put me in a place of fear. You know what I mean? Like I'm dying. You know what I mean? Like I remember being afraid. You know what I'm saying? The first time because like I say, like it was something that I wasn't prepared for. Like if I was to take this journey in the beginning now, I wasn't thinking about like how I'm thinking now. Like my mind was nowhere. I didn't understand as much, nearly as much then as I do now. You know what I mean? I didn't have the kind of people that I have standing with me now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm definitely not on this journey alone. Like, I hadn't met these people yet. You know what I mean? And so, like, I was definitely in a space of fear. Like, whenever I was first diagnosed with it, understanding what it was, and then doing my own research, you know what I'm saying, on it, and just seeing the people that have died from it, things like that, you know what I mean?
So it's a terminal illness?
It can be. And look, back in 2007, like I was a patient where I'm, like where I currently go, Chapel Hill. Like at Chapel Hill, they said I had the worst case of aplastic anemia that the hospital had ever seen. You know what I'm saying? And so hearing about, and then it was people that was there that didn't have this condition as severe as mine was, because it's different levels to it. Like a person can be anemic. It's a lot of people that's anemic, but people with, not as like I say, as severe as mine was dying. You know what I mean? And here I am laid up in there with the most severe case they said they ever encountered. So it was definitely fear. I remember that, like in the initial being diagnosed and the understanding of it, the doctors coming in there letting me know, you know what I'm saying? They come in there and they let you know what you're dealing with and what the plans of treatment is and what the possibilities of what could happen, all things like that. Like, it was fear.
What was the treatment plan?
Well, then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was chemotherapy. And, like I say, like the bone marrow not work fully being operational, you know what I'm saying? Like the basis treatment for that they offered was the chemotherapy. And the reason why is like they, and in their minds, they's like, you know what I mean, how they go about treating this is they use chemotherapy to completely shut the bone marrow down. Like, you know what I mean? Chemotherapy, like these things are just gonna kill off your immune system. And so like, and it's savage, like even sitting here talking about it, you know what I mean, that I even was so afraid that I endured that, you know what I mean? But they kill off your entire immune system, and then you know what I mean, their reasoning is kill it off and let it reboot itself and see if everything comes back online. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, like it was chemotherapy. I had to get a port put in my chest, you know what I'm saying, so they could access, like if it was an emergency to where they would have to get blood in someone quickly, you know what I mean, they can just boom. Then you got to go through the IV, things like that. I remember having to take like 18 different pills every day, like different pills, man. Imagine that. Imagine having to take 18 different pills every day. Like it became torture to me. You know what I mean? Like right now to this day, I have like a psychological thing as it relates to like taking pills, because I had to take so many every day for so long. And shots came with that, morphine patch, you know what I mean?
You were in pain?
All the different medicines. Like all different 19 different medicines, all of them with the potential of having you feeling a certain type of way. Like you see the commercials, man. You know what I'm saying? Off of one medicine, I'm taking like 18. And so like, yeah, it was some times, you know what I mean? And so like, that's what that was for, like to have that like right there in case I needed it, you know what I mean? And so yeah, yeah, those pretty much the things that it entailed.
And what did the doctor say about your diagnosis back then?
As it relates to it.
Like, because you said it could be terminal, and yours was the most severe case. So what was they saying?
Yeah, man, the doctors was preparing me. My main doctor, he started coming in there talking to me, like building with me about the quality of life versus the quantity of life. Like, look, you need to go ahead and start making the best out of like what's left. You know what I'm saying? Type conversations. And so like they didn't really have no hope. Like I was the worst case they ever seen. And like they knew that, people with nearly as severe as what I was dealing with was like transitioning, you know what I'm saying? And so like They ain't have no positive, no real positive outlook. They don't know what caused it. So if you don't know what is the cause of something, like how's you gonna have the answer for it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And so the first time you went through the aplastic anemia and going through the treatment, who was there with you to help or
Of,
support you?
of course, my mother and my father. Of course, a queen, a beautiful queen by the name of Tabitha Merrick. You know what I'm saying? Like she was definitely there. Like she was like a major part of this experience. Like her support and just my family in general. Like I hadn't met you yet. Like my angel hadn't descended down. You know what I'm saying? From the skies yet. You know what I'm saying? And so, but Tabitha was definitely an angel as well. Definitely. And there's no way that I could tell this story without including her. I couldn't do her that disservice. Like, and she would, I would think, would feel some kind of way, or maybe not. But if she did, she would be in her right. You know what I'm saying? And then just my family and a few friends, close friends. Yeah, Keith Shaw, uh, Clifton Covington, like people like that, like my brother, George Ford, like yeah.
And so what happened? So with the
Well,
first time,
because it did like the treatment, like I explained the treatment, but like of course it didn't work. Like it had a little response, like my bone marrow did pick back up some because they wiped it out. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's one of the worst experiences I ever had was laying there them days getting that chemotherapy because like it's killing you, like it's killing off your insides, and you feel it. From my experience, you know what I'm saying? Like that was one of my worst experiences in life, probably. You know what I'm saying? And so I jumped off into that. But what was your question? Because I forgot.
so from the time they diagnosed you and you went through chemotherapy and
Yeah,
stuff, then what happened after that?
it didn't work.
It didn't
Like I
work.
mean, like I didn't get. It was what they call a partial response because my bone marrow did, start rebuilding itself. Hold up for a minute, man. I'm doing something. My son busting in. Wait a second. And so it was a partial response to that. And so like it was enough to where I could get back to living a pretty much decent, you know what I'm saying, way, like to where the symptoms wasn't as severe. Like I could pretty much live, you know what I mean? But it wasn't the response to where it was like, you know what I mean, you just had a full recovery
How long did
after that.
you have to take the chemotherapy and those 18
It was some
medications?
days. It was the chemotherapy was only some days, just enough for them to wipe everything out. You know what I'm saying? And so once they saw everything was wiped out, then the chemotherapy aspect was over. But like you talking about like the medicine and things like that, like the after effects of all of that, it was like I know it was almost like a couple like a year and a half or so.
Okay.
It was some, you know what I mean? It was a minute I had to do all of that.
And what made you decide? Did you decide to stop at some point?
Yeah. Now you were in the picture this time right here. And so I can't leave that out. Like when I made the decision to stop, like how she came about into the story. We have to go back and talk about that at another time. That's a whole another story. But by this time, you are in my life. And so, like what had happened is the same symptoms that I was feeling originally. Like they started returning. Like I knew, you know what I'm saying, like what was going on. And so much so that it led me to go back and just allow them to do what's called a bone marrow biopsy. And what that is when they got to go on your back and get a piece of your bone marrow so they can test it to see what's going on within the bone marrow. And so I made an appointment and I got that done. But just like I already knew that it was the aplastic anemia. You know what I mean? Like coming back or just, you know what I'm saying? Hit again. So yeah, so I did all of that for nothing and just remembering everything that I had already went through and just came out of. And so, but that didn't work though. But after they did that test, of course, the first thing was come back to Chapel Hill, let's do this all over again. Like I knew, like when he said that, like that was not getting ready to happen because I understood. And you know, it just brought back all the memories of what I just came through fresh. Like this is pretty fresh. And so, and for me to out of fear go back through that again, like nah, I wasn't getting ready to do that. Like and man, you had that conversation. And you know what I'm saying? And that was the conclusion that we came to. And so like yeah, like I refuse that this time.
What did they say in reference to you refusing?
They said, you know, by me refusing any type of treatment from them because of course we let them know like we was getting ready to go the alternative route. And so like their response was, well, like if you move forward without what they had to offer or what their plans was, and I will probably only live for 4 months. Yeah.
Without that medicine?
Yeah. And
how long with that medicine? Do you remember?
It was something like 18 months.
So with the aplastic anemia coming back, if you had to follow through with the chemotherapy and those 20 medications again daily, then you had approximately 18 months to live.
Yeah, without a bone marrow, like their last thing was a bone marrow transplant. You know what I'm saying? But me just continuing to go along like without the bone marrow transplant, like which with them with this is like after that they don't got nothing else to offer. You know what I'm saying? The bone marrow transplant. Then like if I didn't have that done, just dealing with the normal treatments, then it was only gonna be like 18 months. But without any of the assistance at all, that 18 months got cut down to 4.
And how much was the bone marrow transplant back then? Do you remember?
I can't even remember. I know it was like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I remember that. I remember they were saying it was like $400,000.
Okay.
The first time, so it's really expensive. So what did you do from there?
I mean, then that's when the journey began. You know what I mean? Like okay, because you think now, they giving me 4 months to live without them. We making the decision to not continue on without them, but that aplastic anemia is still doing what it does. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not giving me a pause because I'm choosing like the direction that I'm choosing. Like, it's full fledged. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing that I had to do was come to a place of not being afraid in my mind, because we know like most of the time that's what do it. Like that's what send you away from here. Like you get a diagnosis and then you know it be the mind that take over because you be so afraid and you start thinking thoughts of death or just worrying, like all of these energies that have an ill effect on a person's health, on a person's body. Like these things be amplified tremendously, and that plays a great role in why people, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times on why people transition, like when they don't have to.
Yeah.
And so the first thing I had to do was come to a true peace about it. Not nothing fake in my mind, trying to convince myself, you know what I mean, or trying just to program, you know what I mean, myself to think that. But I'm talking about from a deep place, to where like what I was getting ready to experience, like that like there really was no place of fear inside of me that can be having an impact on my recovery, like my natural recovery. And so that's the first place that I had to come to, like that place of peace, truly. You know what I'm saying? In my mind about this situation, knowing that I was getting like that I wasn't getting ready to die from this, like that health would be, like my health would be restored. You know what I'm saying? And that aplastic anemia would not be victorious like over my life, like truly coming into that place of knowing within my being. I had to get to that place and then begin to move forward. And so like that's what we did, or I did, you know what I'm saying? Through nights of just sitting like in meditation, like understanding who it is I truly am, like beyond the illusion, like tapping into that source power. You know what I mean? But understanding like, okay, this right here is a classroom, like this is a lesson. Like let me get this lesson. Like this is what this really is about, because I know it's not getting ready to take my life. And that's one thing that I knew for sure, like it was not getting ready to take my life. You know what I mean? Truly was in that space of knowing that. And so like that put me in a position to where I can move forward without no fear. Cause a lot of times, like, of course, like natural medicine, natural herbs and things like that it's definitely the way to go. But one thing that you don't want to do, that I understand now, is that you don't want to take none of these things out of fear. You don't want to take, I don't care, like, it can be the most powerful herb, natural medicine, food that you can eat, but you can't do these things out of fear. You know what I mean? So I was literally doing these things out of like love for myself. You know what I mean? It was like allowing these medicines to make love to my body. Like it was a love affair between me and these medicines. Like, so I could make sure that I was truly in tune with what they entered into me to give me, so I could really receive the benefits of them. You know what I mean?
And so what ended up happening? Like, how long did it take? A lot of people, you know, in our society, people expect things to happen immediately. How long did it take? Do you remember?
It was some years.
And how long? And did you? I mean, and how long did it? I mean, like, how long have you been symptom free and medicine free?
Oh, like almost 10 years. Right at 10 years. And of course, a lot happened that we're not going to talk about in this particular video within them 10 years. Like you getting your degree, you know what I'm saying, in alternative medicine, like just different things that, you know, that we're not going to talk about now. But it didn't take the whole 10 years for, like, it was like in a couple of years that my body started responding like very positively, like to what we was doing, what was going on naturally, like the medicines, the food, the water, like the meditations, like all of these beautiful things that we were experiencing. Like within like 2 years, I remember we went back to get a checkup, like, and everything was good.
Everything was good.
Everything was rolling on all cylinders, like without any help from Western medicine at all, like, which they gave me 4 months to live. And the 2 years is like natural medicine, like you can't rush that. You got to let it do naturally what it's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So like, this is about commitment and dedication. You know what I mean? To where you begin to really reap the benefits of foods and natural medicines and things like that. Because like when you deal with food, proper diet, herbs and things like that, you're dealing with cure now instead of with treatment. You know what I'm saying?
So,
but we definitely got to that place.
And it lasted
like 10 years.
Total
now 4 months and this 10 years later.
Yes.
10 years later. So
so what do you think
thank you, God.
Yes, thank you, ancestors.
Thank you, ancestors.
What do you think the reason is that you're back in this space again?
Because now I know it's about really and it's still about deep healing. You know what I'm saying? Like areas in my life, in my deep life, not in my shallow life, like where you gonna stay, you know what I'm saying, how much money you got in your pocket, but I'm talking about in my deep inner self essence being life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still some healing that needs to take place there. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely understand that now, so that's why it's back. You know what I mean? Because, and you know, that has a major part to do with it, but I know like sometimes you get comfortable, like thinking things are, okay, I'm good now, and then you might begin to do a little bit of this and you know what I mean, a little bit of that. So I know this is definitely about commitment, like constant commitment, like never feeling like, you know what I'm saying, you can slack off. Like you always going hard, you always striving for improvement and to make yourself better. You know what I mean? All of our life we're gonna be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because all of us are seeking like healing, like to become the fullness of our true selves again. Like life is a healing journey. You know what I'm saying? For everyone. And so like it's some healing that still needs to take place in my spirit and in my soul, like, and in my consciousness, like my awareness and my perception of who it is I truly am. But I'm much more powerful now. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, like these cycles, like I'm not in this position. Like it's almost like I feel like a super man. This is literally like, okay, aplastic anemia, like this right here is the final round. You know what I'm saying? Because I done learned too much. I done gathered too much. I understand too much now, and the people I got around me now are too, you know what I'm saying, too powerful. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the same person. I got different, it's some people that's still here, but it's people here that wasn't here before. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge that has been acquired on this journey, because it ain't like we stopped studying ourselves and life and how that works. You know what I'm saying? And so like it's different now, you know what I mean? I'm in a different space, you know what I'm saying? And it still ain't no fear.
Being that you're a teacher that teaches health as well,
Yes.
how do you feel like this journey is going to affect you as a teacher and that of your students?
I'm saying like this is about like to truly become something. Like for me to say I'm a healer, I'm a teacher, like to truly become something, like you have to live that. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you truly have to become. So I'm putting out into the universe through health as well. You know what I'm saying? That I got information, or I'm a being that can help you heal. You know what I'm saying? And so, okay, the universe saying you putting that out. Okay, like this is what you're stating, or the vibration that you're putting out that you are. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is how you're gonna really become that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Heal yourself from this ease that you're dealing with, right? This ain't gonna be nothing that you're just gonna be able to sit and read in no books about and come and give, you know what I'm saying, people information about. It's a journey that you have to be one with. Like I have to be one with the fact that I'm saying I'm a healer. Like I have to be that, like I am. You know what I'm saying? That I say I am. And so I have to have the experience of this great sickness. And when you even read about shamans and just different ancient information, like they always spoke of a great sickness that an individual dealt with before they became a great healer. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand that. I definitely know that this is a part of my destiny, like this aplastic anemia. And that's why I make the statement that the first thing the aplastic anemia is to me is my teacher.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a student of it right now. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, this is what I understand to be going on, like with me. You know what I mean? In my life, and this is the space I'm in about it. Like I ain't in no other space about it. Like I'm not in no I'm getting ready to die space or none of that. Like I ain't in no I'm afraid. You know what I'm saying? Like why me, universe, place. You know what I'm saying? Like okay, like these is the lessons. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what's gonna transform me into that which I say I am, literally beyond words. You know what I'm saying? That it can be a living truth in my life.
So you said that the last time you did have some support, but it was really limited to family, and now you say you feel like you have more support.
Yes.
From various areas. Tell us a little bit about that support and what that's teaching you.
Now, like me understanding. Okay, let me say it like this. Like like it's things that in life, like you can't walk life alone. You can't like the way life is, the things that we go through, the things that we experience, like you got to be sure of the people that you have around you. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be sure, I'm talking about closest, like people that you say like this family right here. You know what I'm saying? You have to be sure of those people. Like, and one thing that aplastic anemia has brought out and uncovered for me is those people. Like those people that'll do anything for me. You know what I'm saying? Those that love me unconditionally. You know what I'm saying? Like those people have come about in my life. You know, like the universe has placed them beside me. You know what I'm saying? And so that's definitely like something that, and if these people weren't there, I don't know where I would be right now. You know what I'm saying? So definitely that, like when you can see those around you clearly, like, okay, this person really loves me right here. Like this person really do anything for me. You know what I'm saying? This person really care. When they call to find out, they really genuine. You know what I'm saying? They ready to move heaven and earth. You know what I'm saying? For me on this journey. Like it has made those people known to me in my life.
What about even the people who, you've set up a GoFundMe page?
And people in general, yeah. Like,
and then the other holistic team of healers.
Yes, I'm just grateful, man, that I got the response that I got, like, far as like the GoFundMe, like people like, and I appreciate that because I want y'all to understand, like, how much y'all have helped me, man. How much y'all have helped me, and most of y'all only know me through Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Most of y'all have never seen me or talked to me or anything, but I'm just glad that the creatress put it in y'all hearts to be a blessing or a blessing in my life, because I got to acknowledge that I wouldn't be where I'm at right now on this journey if it was not for y'all. y'all support, you know what I mean, and concern, and wanting to see me better, and wanting to play a part and making sure that I have the things that I need. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely, I put out the love vibration to y'all. And I just ask y'all to receive it because it's genuine. And I'm genuinely grateful, like, for that assistance and this time and my destiny on my journey. You know what I'm saying? Eternally grateful for y'all. I love y'all. Why you laughing over that?
You're so passionate.
But it's real.
So
Definitely real, bro.
The aplastic anemia came back about a month ago.
Wow, it's been almost 2 months now.
Has it?
Yeah, it's going on 2 months. Something like that.
It's like a month and a half.
Month and a half, yeah.
So tell us about this journey this time.
Okay, like as it relates to the last time?
Well, yeah, because what happened this time? Like, what happened this time to send us back into this journey?
I mean, like me beginning to notice the symptoms again? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, just me beginning to notice the symptoms that will let me know, because I'm aware of those symptoms fully now. Like, okay, like aplastic anemia, like it's rearing its head again. Like, I started having like the nosebleeds. I had that, like the rapid heart rate, like the shortness of breath, like all the symptoms came back.
And what the doctor said this time when you went into the hospital?
They don't even know how I walked into the hospital. Like they like, man, like, but see that's how they, and we'll talk about some other things later, but they didn't even understand how I even walked into the hospital because of like the levels that my blood had dropped to within my body. Like they was like, how can you even be walking in here? You know what I'm saying? And so that's how they looked at me. Like, yeah, and so like just these symptoms coming back, like this what made me know, okay, this is what's going on. Like this is what, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready to be dealing with now, or like it's time for me to go ahead on and face this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like for the last time, you know what I'm saying? Like I knew that, I was back in that space because I was already getting told that by different readers and like in people that I would visit, like spiritual advisors and things like that, people that could see into my life. You know what I mean? I was already being prepared, you know what I'm saying, for where I'm at right now.
Yeah. How did you feel about the experience being back in the hospital? Like, what did that, with the team of doctors that was assisting you?
Okay, now ask that again now.
How did you feel? Because in Chapel Hill they had a team of doctors.
Talking about that Chapel Hill. Okay, go ahead.
That is a team of doctors there to assist you.
Yeah.
So what was that experience with them?
I mean, I was like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not getting ready because they had the same plan in place like this 10 years later, and nothing was different. You know what I'm saying? The chemotherapy, like the whole, you know what I'm saying?
They must have had something to say about the fact that you're still even alive, though.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like, they was looking at me like I was a